Hey there, welcome back. Today we are doing a video that I am so excited about and have been looking forward to doing for a long time because I have this is a hefty box, a big box of Christmas vinyl that I want to share with you. So I can only hold this up for a minute. Oh, let me put it down and flip it around here so I can have it at my disposal. But I did want you to see the complete box and what we have ahead of us. You probably can't see it on screen now, but that we will be flipping through some nice vinyl flipping. And you can see that I have decked out my bookshelf a little bit for the holidays, and I am dressed in a festive green sweater because I really want to share with you all of my favorite music to listen to during the Christmas and holiday season. So today I'm going to focus on our vinyl collection. Justin has quite a collection of vinyl records, and I've shared a few of them in videos. That's something I would like to do more in the new year, is some thematic vinyl reviews, so hold me to that. And I thought that a great way to start would be with our holiday vinyl, because it is just one box. It's somewhat reasonable to share, and I'm going to show you the albums. We'll do some tracing. I'll talk about them a little bit, and we might not be able to get through every single one in detail, but I will show you all of the different albums in our collection. So I'm really excited. It's making me kind of giddy to do this, and is really lifting my spirits, and so thank you for allowing me to do this and share this with you. So, first off, I have sort of front-loaded the box here with albums that are my favorites, so we'll be sure to get through those. And each of these is in a plastic protective sleeve, so we might get a bit of a glare with these albums, but I will do my best to hold them in different positions so that you can see them at different angles and hopefully see them clearly. This first one is probably my favorite holiday album. This is the one that just sets the season when we listen to it for the first time, and this is It's a Holiday Soul Party with Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings. And they are indeed quite dapper and quite soulful and quite funky. And this is just an amazing, amazing album. So you can see Sharon Jones right there. She was just such an amazing vocalist, someone that I really admire and respect her career and her talent. And you can see we've got the Dap Kings here all around her decorating the tree. They have a little garland here that says Dappy Holidays. Very cute. And we've got someone playing the bongos here. We've got some soulful backup singers over here, and you can just see that they are having a lovely time at their holiday soul party. And this is a very diverse record. There's quite a variety of songs on it. I will show you on the back. This is so cute. We have a menorah which has the members of Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings as the candles. We have Joey, Binky, Boogaloo, Bosco, Sharon, they're in the center, Chem, I'm not sure how you say that, Dave, Sugarman, and Homer. So very festive, very irreverent. And the songs on this album are as follows. Side 1 is 8 Days of Hanukkah, which is a very rockin' Hanukkah song. Ain't No Chimneys in the Projects. White Christmas, which is one of the most bangin' versions of White Christmas you will ever hear. It is very up-tempo and very rockin'. It's awesome. Just Another Christmas Song. Silent Night, and it's a very, very swinging version of Silent Night. Big Bulbs, which is my favorite song on this album, and the chorus says, baby, you got them big bulbs, baby, you got them big bulbs, baby, you got them big bulbs, flashing in your window tonight. It's very cute. It's a song about Christmas lights, a very cheeky song about Christmas lights. And there's a line in that song where they say, where's that party at? Right here, 'cause we're gonna get down tonight. And it puts me in the ultimate Christmas party mood and mode. Side 2 is Please Come Home for Christmas. Funky Little Drummer Boy. It is a very funky version. Silver Bells, World of Love, and God Rest Ye Merry Gents, which is a very cool instrumental version of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. So if you have never heard this album, I highly recommend that you look it up on your streaming service of choice or on YouTube. And this also says featuring Son and Star, so perhaps they are the backup singers, I'm not sure. This record came out in 2015 on Daptone Records, and I just love it. It truly is one of my favorite Christmas holiday albums. Sharon Jones there with her package, bringing the holiday soul into your home for your enjoyment. So this is my first album to share with you. I really, really love it. It's a holiday soul party with Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings. Okay, I guess I'll just put these in the back of the box as we keep going. Number 2, again, a favorite for me that really rings in the season, is the Ramsey Lewis Trio, Sound of Christmas. And you can see these lovely kind of retro ornaments on the front of this one. This was recorded in 1961, and it is the Ramsey Lewis Trio, who are a very soulful jazz trio. The members of the Ramsey Lewis Trio are Ramsey Lewis on piano, L.D. Young on bass, and Red Holt on drums. And this is just a fantastic Christmas jazz album, an instrumental album, and it's wonderful to just have on in the background. It's definitely got some swinging tunes on it, and then some that are a little more laid back. And the tracks on this one are Merry Christmas Baby, Winter Wonderland, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Christmas Blues, Here Comes Santa Claus, The Sound of Christmas, The Christmas Song, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, Sleigh Ride, and What Are You Doing New Year's Eve. I think that's my favorite version of What Are You Doing New Year's Eve. I think I first heard that song from this album. And of course, these older retro albums, they give you a whole bunch of text and write-up about each one of these albums. But I don't want to take time to read every single one of them, or I'll never get through all of these. But it does say here, the best part of this album is that it won't go out with the season, because the sounds on many of the cuts, such as Christmas Blues and The Sound of Christmas, which by the way are originals, so those two are original songs, are good jazz 365 days a year. So this is another one that I just can't listen to enough. I never get tired of this one, and I highly recommend you add this into your mix. This is another one that really brings the season in for me the first time I listen to this. So, the Ramsey Lewis Trio, Sound of Christmas. All right, moving along. Moving along next, we have a classic that I have been listening to my entire life, which is John Denver and the Muppets. Now, I grew up in West Virginia, which means I love the song Country Roads, which is a John Denver song. So I have a special place in my heart for John Denver. And I love the Muppets. I love the Muppets so much. They're such a part of my personal culture, kind of my personal philosophy on life. And so this is just a wonderful classic combination. We've got John Denver here, we've got Fozzie, and we've got Robin, and Miss Piggy, and Kermit, and animals peeking in over here on the side. And we've got Gonzo here peeking up over the corner. I don't know if he has a trumpet in his mouth or if he's taking a swig of something. I'm not sure. Never really looked that closely before. And then on the back, we have Statler and Waldorf here, and Janice, and Zoot, and Dr. Teeth, and Rolf, and Scooter, and Floyd Pepper. For a split second, I was like, wait, no, I know all the members of the Electric Mayhem. You can't call me out on that. So they are rockin'. And like I said, this is an album I have listened to since I was a little kid. It's called A Christmas Together, is technically the name of the album. And we had this on an 8-track cartridge when I was a kid that we listened to on our console stereo. And I can so vividly remember pressing the buttons, the big punch buttons on the 8-track player to get to the song that we wanted. And there are so many good tracks on this. The 12 Days of Christmas, which was one that my sister and I loved, and if you know this version, I think you know that everyone loves the 5 golden rings, because Miss Piggy says, 5 golden rings, ba-dum-bum-bum, and gets very dramatic with it, and as little kids, that cracked us up. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, which is a lovely, beautiful version of that. The Peace Carol, Christmas is Coming, which is a round sung by Miss Piggy, Scooter, and Gonzo, which is very charming. A Baby Just Like You, Deck the Halls, When the River Meets the Sea, Little Saint Nick, which I like much better. I like the Electric Mayhem version much better than the Beach Boys version. Noel, Christmas Eve, 1913, which is a little kind of a recitation by John Denver, music in the background. The Christmas Wish, Alfie the Christmas Tree, Carol for a Christmas Tree. Oh, that's all one song. Alfie the Christmas Tree, Carol for a Christmas Tree. If you're not familiar with Alfie, you will enjoy that one. It's very sweet. It's in Every One of Us, which is a beautiful song that always brings tears to my eyes. Silent Night, Holy Night, and We Wish You a Merry Christmas. And these are just all such wonderful versions of these songs and really make me smile and really lift my heart and really are the quintessential core of the season for me. So once again, all of these albums, especially these ones in the front, come highly recommended. If you have never listened to John Denver and the Muppets, A Christmas Together, I highly recommend it. And this is based on a very obscure Christmas special that John Denver did with the Muppets. And I can't remember if it's on YouTube. I went looking for it once, and I did find at least parts of it. So maybe I'll have to go looking for that again this year. But it's very sweet. It's very charming. John Denver has a beautiful voice. And if you love the Muppets, you will love this. It's a really nice combination of being funny and also quite tender. And it really brings together all the different feelings of the season, the joy and the nostalgia and, you know, kind of the complexity of it. And that's what I love about the Muppets. You think, oh, they're the Muppets, they're puppets, they're something for kids. Oh, no, no, no. There is a lot of deep philosophy and wisdom within the Muppets in all their forms. So, John Denver and the Muppets, which I've been listening to for 44 years, I highly recommend it. Kermit's looking very dapper there. He's got sort of a little fancy winter coat and cravat. Is that what that's called? A cravat. Okay, I'll stop while I'm ahead. I won't start describing the Muppets' outfits. Okay, next up we have another wonderful classic, The Temptations' Christmas Card. So there we've got this charming illustration of the Temptations peeking through the window at you, singing their Christmas carols. This album is from 1970, and it actually doesn't have anything on the back. It's just listed here on the front in this cute little kind of song book, carol book. What is on this one? Silent Night, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and this is the best version of Rudolph that there ever was. So if you've never heard the Temptations version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, look that up if nothing else, because it is so funky and so cool. And when they're saying the reindeer's names, you know, he's like, you know, Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donna. And instead of saying Donner, he says Donna, is the way he pronounces it. And my mom's first name is Donna. So that always makes Justin and me laugh. And we always say, oh, I didn't know my mom was a reindeer. Donna and Blitzen. See, you didn't know you were going to get a little bit of me singing in this video. There is also White Christmas, The Christmas Song, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Let It Snow, Someday at Christmas, Little Drummer Boy, Silver Bells, and My Christmas Tree. So this is another classic one. This one Justin bought at one of our local record stores, and we really enjoy this one. So The Temptations' Christmas Card in the stereo. Excellent, excellent in stereo. Had to take a little water break there. Okay, now you will begin to see the incredible diversity of our record collection as I start to move through these maybe a little more quickly after getting through those first few, which were my ultimate favorites that I had a little bit more to say about. But you will see that we have a lot of very classic holiday music and then some very interesting, less classic Christmas music, like this next one, which is called Yuletide Disco. This is another one that Justin picked up somewhere along the way, and you can see that there are some very, very fly and funky disco ladies on the front of this album. And this, it is actually, I guess the band, it says on the back here, as performed by Mirror Image. So this band, this group, is Mirror Image, and this album is from 1979, which was the year of my birth. Go Disco, Live On Disco, and it's just really fun. It has Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, Good King Wenceslas, O Tannenbaum, White Christmas, Deck the Halls, The 12 Days of Christmas, We Three Kings, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, and Auld Lang Syne, all in a very funky disco style. So this one is a lot of fun, definitely makes us smile, and is something that we enjoy having in the mix. You can see these ladies, they're basically wearing tinsel. They're basically wearing outfits made of Christmas tinsel. And they're actually, or maybe is this just one lady? I think this might just, I've never really looked that closely at this before. I think this is like a photo effect of just one woman wearing an outfit of tinsel. But at any rate, I guess it is performed, like I said, by a group called Mirror Image. And on the back you just get a black and white version of the tinsel disco gal here. But this one is a lot of fun, so might take a little more digging for you to find Yuletide Disco, but it's a good time. And so, of course, why not follow up Yuletide Disco? Obviously, the next logical thing would be Carols for Christmas, which this is, let's see, what does it say? It is the Royal College of Music Chamber Choir and the Royal College of Music Brass Ensemble. And these are very traditional carols. Again, there is a lot of information on the back of this, but it says, here's the perfect accompaniment to Christmas. The 21 popular carols recorded here are conducted and arranged by the noted British musicologist Sir David Wilcox, director of the Royal College of Music in London. And so these are very traditional carols sung in a very traditional way. And Justin and I's favorite on this is on side 2. It's the first song on side 2, the Boar's Head Carol, because a church in our area used to do, maybe they still do it, we went to it when we were first married, this pageant of the Boar's Head Festival, which was sort of like a combination Christmas pageant, medieval festival performance with all these songs and dances and people in costume, and it was sort of like a processional. You would sit in the congregation and everyone would walk down the aisle, and it was like a musical production. It was really amazing, and maybe the Boar's Head Festival is performed in other places. Let me know if you've ever heard of it. But the Boar's Head Carol is what they sing when they bring in the boar's head. And yes, even as a person that's, mostly vegetarian, we always enjoyed the epic sort of majesty of the Boar's Head Carol. and it's just really cool. So this album is one if you really want to get that traditional, old school, choral, holiday swelling in your heart. It's really beautiful. Carols for Christmas from the Royal College of Music Chamber Choir and Brass Ensemble. And you can see this little classic nativity kind of scene here, like something that would be in, some sort of ancient text, some sort of medieval writing here. Very lovely. So this was a second-hand record too. This one might have been Justin's mom and dad's. These records are a combination of ones that we have purchased new or purchased secondhand, some hand-me-downs from Justin's mom and dad, and some hand-me-downs from my mom and dad. So it's an interesting collection. Next we have a Dave Brubeck Christmas. Lovely Christmas jazz album. This is another one that I just really love and can listen to over and over again. It's very cheery and upbeat. This one came out in 1996, and it's just a very classic, lovely jazz album. You can see this little Christmas tree here with a star in a snowy wood. This has all of your classic songs on it. Jingle Bells, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Joy to the World, Away in a Manger, Winter Wonderland, What Child Is This, To Us Is Given, O Tannenbaum, Silent Night, Run, Run to Bethlehem, which is a great one, and the Christmas song. So this is another classic, wonderful jazz album, nice to have in the background if you're having a party or hosting a holiday dinner or something like that. Very, very lovely and festive music. Okay, we're moving through these pretty well. This next one is so special and so beautiful. This record was actually Justin's grandmother's, so that makes it really special. And this is Odetta Christmas Spirituals. And if you're not familiar with Odetta, she was a folk singer who had just an amazing voice, an amazing, deep, strong, dramatic, soulful voice. I believe, yes, there's a picture of her here on the back, and she played the guitar and accompanied herself on her songs. And these songs are, a lot of them are spirituals. They're very religious songs, and they're really quite beautiful and quite emotive. I really love listening to this album, and they have a lot of drive, they have a lot of rhythm. They're just really beautiful. Side one is Virgin Mary Had One Son. Somebody's talking about Jesus. Somebody's talking about Jesus. Ain't That Rockin'? Mary Had a Baby. Go Tell It on the Mountain, which is such a classic. Beautiful Star. Poor Little Jesus. Side two is Shout for Joy. O Jerusalem. Rise Up, Shepherd, and Follow. If Anybody Asks You. What Month Was Jesus Born In? And Children Go Where I Send Thee. And when I was a kid, we used to sing Children Go Where I Send Thee at church camp. Children go where I send thee, how shall I send thee? And it's just a really beautiful and very uplifting song. So if you are looking for something more biblical, as far as the Christmas story, something that is more focused on the story of the birth of Jesus and the Nativity, this is a very, very special and very beautiful album. Odetta Christmas spirituals. And if you've never heard Odetta sing, I would highly recommend you look up some of her music because her voice is quite striking and will definitely touch your soul. She was an incredibly talented woman. So this is a beautiful and very sacred part of our music collection for the holidays. Next up, if you need to get people on the dance floor or you want to get people moving, dancing, rocking around the Christmas tree, then you need to put on this album, which is James Brown, oh yeah, and his Famous Flames Sing Christmas Songs. And this album is so much fun. Oh my goodness, it will. It will get you dancing. It will get you rocking. It's James Brown bringing his signature enthusiasm and signature drive to Christmas songs. And they're just infectious and uplifting and will make you smile. This has Sweet Little Baby Boy, Let's Make This Christmas Mean Something This Year. And that, I think, is the one that Justin and I like the most. Let's make this Christmas mean something this year. It's just very, very soulful, and James kind of gives some little monologues in there, and it's very uplifting. And because Justin and I have been through a lot this year, and you know, there was kind of a time when I didn't know if we were going to get to have Christmas together in the same way that we usually do, and we really love celebrating Christmas together. I didn't mean to get a little emotional there, but I should have known some emotion would come up. So this song is extra special to us because we really are making Christmas as meaningful as we can this year. Let's see what else is on here. This Is My Lonely Christmas, Part 1. There's a This Is My Lonely Christmas, Part 2. So, you know, James does have to leave a little place in there for, you know, the heartbreak, because that's part of soul, so that's okay. The Christmas Song, Merry Christmas Baby, Please Come Home for Christmas, Merry Christmas, I Love You, and Signs of Christmas. So we have this big wreath here. James is celebrating in style with the names of the tunes in the middle here. Got another wreath on the back. This is from Vivid Sounds. And this is just a great, great album, again, to get the party started. If you need to kind of lift the mood and get the energy going in your holiday household, you know James Brown will do that for you. And this is actually one of 3 James Brown Christmas records that we have in here. So James Brown really was quite festive in among all his other prolific music making. So any of his Christmas albums are a lot of fun. Okay, next we have a classic. This is one from Justin's family, a very pink and purple and psychedelic rendition here on the cover of Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker. And of course you always have to listen to the Nutcracker at the holidays. And Justin's sister was a professional ballet dancer for a time, and so she took ballet from the time she was very young and was in many, 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 many versions and productions of the Nutcracker over the years. So for Justin and his family, listening to the Nutcracker is just even more special and even more significant for their family tradition and their family story. And so this is really special that this is the record that they used to listen to when Justin was a kid. And you can see this is really cool. We've got some fairies here. We've got, I guess this is Drosselmeyer looking cool in a nice purple 70s outfit. And we've got some dancers over here and a lot of little detail going on in this album cover. It's a fun one. This is performed by the London Symphony Orchestra and the Ambrosian Singers. So this one is truly a classic. Gotta have this one in your holiday collection. Okay, we still have lots of amazing music to come. I think I am going to try to pick up the pace a tiny little bit just to make sure we can get through this whole box in a timely manner. Next up, we have Elvis. Come on, you gotta have a little Elvis in your holiday celebration. There he is. This is one from my mom's record collection that was passed down to us. Elvis being very festive here among his ribbons and holly. And this has Blue Christmas on it, which I think Elvis's version of Blue Christmas is, very well known. And I think this is just a classic one to have in the collection. A little bit of Elvis. Next up we have, this is sort of like almost a historical Christmas song. The record itself is sort of strange because again we've just got these two kind of like disco gals on here. But what this is a single of Curtis Blow's song, Christmas Rappin'. And this was kind of like the first rap song. Kind of like, right in the same era as, Rapper's Delight and those very early songs. Christmas Rappin' was one of the first rap songs, and it is literally Curtis Blow rapping for quite an extended amount of time about Christmas and his Christmas party and him hanging out with his friends and Santa coming and Santa hanging out at his Christmas party. And it's actually pretty epic and pretty amazing. And it literally starts out with him saying, "This is Curtis Blow, and Christmas is one thing I know." And then he continues to go on and tell you everything he knows about Christmas. So this is a two-sided record because it has the sort of regular version of the song and then an extended version of the song. One of them is, yes, the extended version is 8 minutes and 11 seconds. So that's a lot of Curtis Blow rapping. And so again, if you have never heard Christmas Rappin' by Curtis Blow, you gotta look it up because it's epic and an amazing Christmas song and an amazing part of music history. Next up, we have Pretty Paper by Willie Nelson. There's a smiling 70s-ish version of Willie, kind of on like a stamp on a Christmas package. That's really cute. And we've got some pretty Christmas paper here and a blue ribbon. And of course his version of Pretty Paper is pretty well known. Pretty paper, pretty ribbons of blue. So this is a literal interpretation on this album cover. And this is a very jaunty, jolly, uplifting Christmas album. I really like this one a lot. It always brightens my spirits, and I just love Willie's voice. He just brings something special to all of these songs. There are a lot of classics on this: White Christmas, Winter Wonderland, Rudolph, Jingle Bells, Here Comes Santa Claus, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Frosty the Snowman, Silent Night, Oh Little Town of Bethlehem, The Christmas Blues, and Pretty Paper. So this is another one that's just really lovely to have in the mix. And I love Willie. I love all eras and all stages of Willie's music, so that's nice to have. Okay, next up, this is another, I need to adjust my records here a little bit. This is another classic, a Charlie Brown Christmas, the Vince Guaraldi Trio. And this is the infamous dun 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 dun. And also, Christmas time is here. If you have watched the Charlie Brown Christmas special, this is the original soundtrack recording of the CBS television special. And this is a newer record. Justin bought this. It is a special green vinyl LP pressing. It has Linus and Lucy. It has some of the other special songs from this special, the skating song. It's just really lovely. And so if you are a fan of the Charlie Brown Christmas special, which, my goodness, has become such an endearing and enduring classic, it's been around for such a long time, this is really special music, and I think is nostalgic and significant for a lot of people, because a lot of people watched this Christmas special growing up over the years. So you've got Snoopy on top of the tree, got Charlie Brown and Lucy and Linus under the tree. And it's interesting, Lucy is wearing a yellow dress instead of her typical blue dress, and Charlie Brown is wearing a red shirt instead of his typical yellow shirt. They're changing up the wardrobe a little bit here for the holidays. But this is just a beautiful and special and very nostalgic collection of music. Okay, now we're going to kind of do a speed run, I think, through this last section. Originally, I was going to pick out just like my favorite 10 or 12 albums to do, but then I thought it would be fun to try to go through the whole box of them. But this is getting quite lengthy. I know you don't mind when my videos are lengthy, but let's go through these last ones and I'll show them to you pretty quickly. We'll see if we can get through them all. We have The Greatest Hits of Christmas by Eugene Ormandy and the Philharmonic Orchestra, the Philadelphian Orchestra Chorus, director Robert Page, A Christmas Spectacular. So this is just a really lovely orchestral and choral Christmas album. Have a little Christmas tree on the back that lists all of the tracks, all of your classic favorites. The next one, please, anyone tell me if you have heard of this group, if anyone besides us has heard of this group. The group is called Rotary Connection, and this is their Christmas album called Peace. And you can see this is a very trippy album cover with all these people with sort of human heads superimposed onto little doll bodies, and a very trippy Santa here smoking out of a long pipe. And Justin bought this at one of the record stores he likes because the record store owner, he always writes these little notes on the jacket, and he wrote 1968 Psychedelic Christmas. And this is such a funny, bizarre album. Again, these are like the members of the band portrayed as like little dolls above their stockings. And there's a song on here about Santa smoking mistletoe. It's very, very trippy and very entertaining and very funny. So if anyone out there has actually heard of Rotary Connection and knows about any of their other music, please let me know, because I would be very curious. Okay, we have the Ramsey Lewis Trio, More Sounds of Christmas, which is a follow-up to the other album I shared with you. This one isn't quite as good, I don't think, as the original, but there they are, the members of the Ramsey Lewis Trio, looking festive in their Santa hats. And this is another good, just very solid jazz Christmas album. We have the Joyous Songs of Christmas. This is a medley put out by Goodyear. This was among one of the sets of our parents' Christmas albums. There's a Barbra Streisand song, Tony Bennett, Danny Kaye, the Lennon Sisters, Jim Nabors, just a lot of classic artists, and they're all being portrayed here on Christmas candles, which is kind of fun. These kind of, you know, compilation Christmas albums are fun to have in the mix. We have The Organ Plays at Christmas by Ken Griffith, electronically rechanneled for stereo. And what is hilarious about this album is that it shows a big pipe organ here, right? And so Justin bought it. I think he bought this literally like at Goodwill, thinking it was going to be, you know, big, full, robust pipe organ music. But the music on this album sounds like it's being played on like an organ that would be at like a hockey game or something like that. It's a very sort of single channel electronic organ. So it's just really funny and charming, but we like the music, so we keep this one in the mix because it's fun and it makes us smile. I'm putting these down over here now so that I can try to move through a little more quickly. We have Merry Christmas from Brenda Lee. Very, very classic here. I mean, what more is there to say about Brenda Lee other than her charming voice and her amazing bouffant hairstyle? She's got a little Christmas package here. This was another one from the parental record collections. We've got Funky Christmas, which features a lot of artists here. Lou Donaldson, John Edwards, The Impressions, Willis Jackson, Margie Joseph, and Luther. And they are all hanging around, out around the piano here, having some nog, having a good time, being very festive. And this is another just really fun and funky album to have in the mix. We've got our saxophone players here, and they're sitting at the piano. There are some very sweet 70s outfits in here. This is from 1976. Very, very classy and cool. And then we have the Abbey Choir Sings Christmas. This is another classic choral album with these sort of very dramatic looking choral singers on the front of it. The Mormon Tabernacle Choir sings Christmas carols. I mean, you can't really have a collection of Christmas music without some Mormon Tabernacle Choir in there for some dramatic choral effect. We also have, oh, this is a great one. I should have had this one closer towards the beginning. Christmas Eve with Burl Ives. And of course, Burl Ives played the snowman in the Rankin Bass version of Rudolph, who narrates the story. So that is Burl Ives, if you're not familiar with him. There is a very sort of thoughtful Santa here with a little boy on his lap. To me, the most notable thing about this album is he sings a version of the 12 Days of Christmas that has days in it that are not the ones that I was traditionally taught and that I think we all know. Like, instead of 12 drummers drumming, it's 12 bulls a-bellowing. And there are a few others that are different from the tradition. So the first time I listened to this as an adult, I was like, Burl, what are you talking about? So this is one from my family's collection, and I do love Burl Ives' voice. Again, very classic and nostalgic. Okay, records, they're getting a little out of control here. This is another compilation, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, with some Lawrence Welk, some Liberace, some Pat Boone. This is a classic. Lennon Sisters, good stuff. And again, you can see all of them here kind of portrayed in these little ornaments. Very fun. This one from my mom's collection. My mom's family definitely grew up watching Lawrence Welk. That's a classic. We've got good old Johnny Mathis here. Merry Christmas from Johnny Mathis. Just such a beautiful classic singer. He's there in his nice red sweater, looking very festive in his skates. And his voice is just so beautiful, and his renditions of these classic Christmas songs are very lovely, so I always like to listen to that one. We've got some Baroque Christmas cantatas, some more choral music here. We've got a Mary Mancini Christmas, Henry Mancini, his Orchestra and Chorus, and this is another great, just 70s classic. There's a lot of good tunes on it. We've got a cool Santa back here on the back. And then we've got, oh, this is a great one. The Season for Miracles, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. And that is really cute because that's got Smokey Robinson and the Miracles and all their families on it, I guess, in front of the Christmas tree. There's another cool photo on the back of that one. 1970. Ooh, this one was sealed when we bought it. That's extra special. But it has a lot of really good tunes on it, and it's cute. Here they're sitting in front of the tree, and then in this version the kids have opened presents. So that's really fun just to look at. Okay, we've got some more James Brown here. We've got James Brown, A Soulful Christmas, which has the classic Santa Claus Go Straight to the Ghetto on it, among other tunes. I love it here. It says, Santa's got a brand new bag, holiday originals from the Godfather of Soul. So this is a really fun one. And then another James Brown, Hey America, It's Christmas Time. This is a classic. There's James getting his soul on right there. We've got A Christmas Sound Spectacular by John Klein at the Carillon Americana with Orchestra and Chorus. This is a really cool orchestral album, and I just love this Santa on the front of here. He's like behind a beaded curtain, and he's just like chilling out. He's very cool. I just love the cover on this one. Okay, I think we've only got a couple more here. The Holly and the Ivy, Christmas Carols by the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. As I said, you always have to have some of that classic choral music in the mix. And then, last but certainly not least, this is a beautiful album. We have The Christmas Song by Nat King Cole. And this is a beautiful, beautiful classic album. It is also very nostalgic. This is a newer album. Justin bought this from Newberry Comics, and it is on exclusive red and white split vinyl, a limited edition. So that's very special. And I think we will wrap up with Nat King Cole sitting here being all cozy by his fireplace, because this brings us back around to the beginning again, to Sharon Jones and her soul party. Wow, friends, this was a pretty epic journey. I thought maybe I was being too ambitious in trying to go through the whole box of records, so I guess you can decide as to whether this was too much for one video. Maybe you are just sound asleep by now, and that's wonderful. But I really hope that you enjoyed hearing about my favorite holiday and Christmas music and seeing our vinyl collection. Please let me know if you enjoy any of these songs or albums, and let me know what your favorite festive music is to listen to during this season. I would love to know, and would love to have suggestions for new music to explore. So thank you once again for hanging out with me. There will be more vinyl to come. I think I'll limit myself in future videos to only a handful of albums. But thanks for sticking with me. Take good care of yourself. Enjoy this festive season. Rest well. And I'll see you again soon. All right, Sharon, let's go have a soul party. Let's go have a soul